In this video, we will answer the following questions. How do you collect the information for your research? How do you find the answers? Where do you look? There are three sources that inform your research: people, documents, and destinations. Let's start with people. Who are some of the people you might want to talk to for gathering information about your project? There's your client, potential users, your fellow designers, or engineers. You might wish to consult with experts in the field or research librarians. You can gather information from people using interviews or online surveys. Dialogue is important because it gives you immediate feedback and lets you engage with your source. When interacting with your people sources, remember professionalism in attitude, appearance, and appropriateness. You need closed-toed shoes for a construction site and appropriate decorum if your client works in a hospital. You must show respect for your people sources, both for their expertise and their time. Remember, you're only on time if you're early. A research method student teams often gravitate to when exploring the context of their problem is documented sources. What are documented sources? Documented sources might look like opening a browser, typing in a keyword, and hitting search. It can be overwhelming to see the sheer volume of results, though, and difficult to determine what comes next. There may be no indication of where to go next in your research or what to do with the volume of information that you receive. Here are a few better sources that you can use to start your project research. The first place you might want to start is a textbook, which includes relevant topics about your project. Another place might be a review paper or an overview of the topic. There are also opinion pieces written by experts in the field. These are called white papers. There's also databases that could be project-specific that you could use. Finally, another type of document is peer-reviewed literature. These are peer-reviewed sources. The peer review process is one in which experts verify the truth of information. When you're searching online, it can be easy to fall into non-peer-reviewed sites or sources. Wikipedia, company information, or shopping sites are not peer-reviewed, and that means that the information on these sites has not been independently verified. Upon hearing the strengths of peer-reviewed literature, you may wish to jump right in with primary sources. But there are certain pitfalls that are associated with these. Specifically, peer-reviewed literature or primary literature is hypothesis-driven, narrowly focused, and highly detailed, and it could be difficult for you and your design team to identify and select relevant keywords or information for your design project. So, for that reason, when you begin using peer-reviewed literature, we recommend starting with a broad source, like a textbook or review papers. There are some important strategies that you can use when doing online searches. The first tip is to do keyword iteration. Brainstorm some different terms that are related to your design project and then search different combinations of those terms to find the best sources. The second tip is to leave yourself some breadcrumbs as you navigate from link to link and site to site. You'll want to identify which were the most important links so that you can find them again. The third tip is the 3 times rule. Make sure that you verify any facts with 3 independent sources while doing online search. The biggest risk is that it can be a complete time sink. Limit yourself to 15 minutes. If after 15 minutes you haven't found the answers you're looking for, ask for help or change your strategy. The third source for information is destinations. Where can you visit to collect information for your design project? You could visit your client's location to see where your project will be implemented. If your user is different from your client, you might want to visit users in their environment to see how they are currently solving your problem. You could also visit a store and see what solutions are already on the market. Remember to keep the 4 quadrants of the research heuristic in mind when finding sources. Strive to find a mix of types of sources for each quadrant of the research heuristic. It can be tempting to use only one type of source, such as documents found on the internet, but by diversifying your information sources, you will deepen your understanding of your problem space for your design challenge. In summary, We've just reviewed some research methods to help you collect information for your design challenge. The three sources we've discussed were people, documents, and destinations. We discussed who you might want to talk to and how you might interact with them. We also discussed strategies for identifying and finding relevant documents. And lastly, we showed some examples of destinations that you might visit.